allow the EU and their own representatives to help build the community that needs to be protected, especially the LGBTQ community, where people are threatened. If you openly if you are open lesbian or gay or homosexual, right? So they are endangered, and EU want to protect the endangered people whose rights of choice is rights that could lead to their death. So Tifnumbu knew that all of them know what they are doing. But what they are telling themselves is that Shibina, we go implement them. We are telling you that there's nothing like that. Forget about what you are reading. Don't listen to what these people are saying. It's all fake news. At least we are telling you that this one that we have, and the one you said you have on the website of this EU-SAMOA deal, right? Yeah, that one is for all other countries. The reason why other African countries have not signed it, we don't know. But these EU guys have told us that in their own right, they've stated that, the rights of boys, girls, men, women. So it didn't say anything about gay. Anyway, they just scrape out that section, okay? And they went on to show, I mean, it's obvious though, right? But why are they lying to people? So presently they said they are now suing the newspaper because the Islamic Sharia North. When I say North, I'm not saying Northern Nigeria. Well, I should have told you that it's Islamic Sharia North. They're fuming. They're raging. How could this even happen? What is the meaning of this Momo ticket that we killed people for? So it's kind of painful to so many of them. And the way Tifnumbu's gang are pushing back is to tell them that don't believe them, Afa. Alaji, Ranka Dede, don't believe them. It's not true. It's fake news. In fact, for you to know that it's fake news, what we signed is for the betterment of Nigeria. So we're going to sue the newspaper. Anybody that talk about that deal, we're going to sue you for trying to cause trouble in Nigeria. And today, Tifnumbu had already called on the army. Please, Nigerian army, you must prevent what is going on in Kenya happening in Nigeria. Do you know that? Okay, I'll show you that sometimes, okay? Meanwhile, in Africa as we speak, right? Countries like Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger Republic, they've all come together to form their own economic bloc now. They've called the bloc of the Western world. Yes, they were supposed to suffer. I mean, we were told that they would suffer for daring to tell the Americans and the French to leave their country, that their country would become like, Anyway, it's been like that for a while, and they are coming out stronger with the backing of Russia. I still don't know how long this is going to last, right? But as we speak, they are actually rebuilding themselves through the collaborative sharing of the resources they have, including human resources. They are generating their power. They are empowering. They are building their own hospitals and, improving them, building their infrastructure, improving them. They want to be nuclearly armed too. Russia says they will help them to become nuclearly armed. Niger Republic will have nuclear weapon. Burkina Faso will have nuclear weapon. Mali will have nuclear weapon. They are now teaming up with the communists that the CIA of America, as well as the M16 of the United Kingdom worked for decades to break. Somehow it is happening. Burkina Faso is now nationalizing all of the French companies in their country. They are moving on. What is the worst that these guys can do to them? What is the worst? It doesn't seem that it's going to be any worse that this West can do to them than what they have already done to them from generations, even up to now. So they are facing their fear. And I kind of love it, right? Here is a video of that guy from Burkina Faso, the leader of Burkina Faso now, Traore, visiting his own pal. in Niger Republic. And Nigerians, they don't call them Cupists. When these guys opted out of the African Union, ECOWAS, they said they would suffer. But they teamed and bonded together up to today. And this is how it feels, by the way, where you are being killed over democracy, where your elected criminal politicians are looting you dry. You can't even fight them. And they want you to believe that the democracy is best for you. Military is not good for you. This one is, I'm just saying, right? But take a look at this. Meanwhile, in Rivers State in Nigeria, old men with a white beard, white head, white, everything white. Grandmas, they are chasing themselves on who is the right lawmakers and who are those who are not the lawmakers as we speak. A few days ago, there was this media sensation that with the Wike's loyalists have been reinstated by the appeal court. You remember they decamped from their party PDP to APC. That became a legal thing. Their seats were declared vacant. Indeed, they went to court, and the court now said the status quo must remain until the case is determined. So the Wike said loyalists received that judgment as to say they were supposed to go back and become lawmakers and still remain as lawmakers until the court ruled otherwise. To the Fubara men, shut up, man. The court is saying that we have removed you, and you are saying you are still a lawmaker. You are still lawmakers, but the thing is that you are not lawmakers until the court decide if truly you are still one or not. Inside that confusion, old men call for press conference on top this river matter. I mean, I think you should know.
Gentlemen of the press, this is a delegation of former members of the National Assembly from Rivers State who have served the state meritoriously at different times. Our assignment today is to pay the governor a courtesy and solidarity visit, as well as make a press statement on the matters that are arising in our dear states at this time.
So we, the undersigned members, former members of the National Assembly Rivers State Caucus, are compelled to speak out against the apprehension and uncertainty that have enveloped our state in recent months, which you are all aware. This is one of those times in life of our beloved state when silence is no longer golden. We cannot, in good conscience, continue to play the ostrich when our hard-earned democracy, including the peace and stability of a state that has been built on the blood of heroes, are threatened. Our concerns, therefore, are: we are deeply troubled by the anxiety, hysteria in our state. We recognize that peace and stability of Rivers State, a vital economic hub of our nation, are under siege. Our position, therefore, 1, regardless of our political affiliations, which you know that we are not on party basis, we stand united in an unwavering belief and conviction that the unity, peace, and progress of Rivers State are paramount and non-negotiable. 2, we reaffirm our absolute commitment to the rule of law, a cornerstone of democracy that ensures no one, including the government, is above the law. We uphold this fundamental principle, which safeguards justice, equality, and accountability for all. We emphasize that the tenure of local government councils must be respected in accordance with the Constitution of the land. 4, we believe that the calls for a state of emergency are unwarranted and have every confidence in the government's ability to address any challenges that may arise. We trust in the capacity to maintain peace and stability in Rivers State. We reject all attempts to undermine the progress of Rivers State for personal gain and urge the people to reject and oppose such efforts. We commend Governor Sim Fubara's efforts to promote peace and development and urge all Nigerians to support his initiative. We urge all well-meaning Nigerians to support Governor Sim Fubara's mandate, which has been affirmed by the Supreme Court of the land without fear, favor, or distraction. Our prayer: O God of creation, grant this one request. Help us build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed. Long live Rivers State. Long live.
Nuisance lele.
I actually thought he was going to say, where no man is oppressed, Nigeria will hail thee. He didn't say that, so it's a nuisance. Nuisance. Meanwhile, on the other side, right, I kind of share something about the new UK Prime Minister, Keir, that's his name, today. But there's something that he was expected to kind of, act on, and that was acted upon day one. Okay, see, conservative put this idea of keeping those who come to this island, this British island, right, on the dinghy, on the boats, or where have you. So they are like classified illegal immigrants. Here in the UK, the politicians were under pressure from the British public that their access to medical care, their access to NHS, the access to public housing, the access to social welfare, and so many other things that were like part of the system have become so overstretched that people have to wait for hours, even during emergencies, for ambulances. So all of this are mounting pressure on the local politicians, on the politicians of the, this country. So conservative now devised a means of making an agreement with Rwanda. And the president and government of Rwanda were given millions, hundreds of millions of pounds sterling to go create community for those they call the refugees coming to the UK, illegal immigrants coming to the UK. They will be granted something like overseas territorial citizenship. Is it? I don't know what that even means, right? So what they plan to do was that if you find your way to the UK as an illegal immigrant and you are caught, you will be put on the next available plane to Kenya. To Rwanda. Yeah. So you'll be sent to Rwanda. And with this, it was more or less like something to placate the British public. Instead of it to placate the British public, it angers them more. They became more like, what? Like, yeah, we are talking about your policies that have made it more worse for people to have access to public services. We are not saying you should be shipping human beings to another place in Africa. All you have to do is just tighten your border and make sure that they do not just get in. I don't know how they will do it. But you see, in the state of this confusion, right? Conservative lost 14 years of being in power in this country. Was that deep? So Starmer made an announcement today by what? Hang on, before I get to this new guy. So it got to a stage that the government of the conservative government was taken to the courts. I mean, the Supreme Court of the UK had to rule. Yeah, they ruled that it was, no, sorry, the court ruled that it was wrong and illegal to deport people to Rwanda. Then Richie Sunak said, I will find a way. Yes, I will find a way around it. Indeed, he found a way. And they were planning to send the first plane down to Rwanda. In Rwanda, the Rwanda government, led by Kagame, has already collected hundreds of millions of pounds sterling in preparing this new town for refugees deported from the UK. But the UK government will be responsible for their care. Rwanda government will just be their carer. It's like hiring Rwanda to babysit the refugees coming to the UK, kind of. And these are just like the Black Africans, so just so you know. And I think the Asians, refugees from places like Ukraine and across this part of, including, from other places like that, they are welcome. There's a program for them. But you see, I'm just kind of talking to you as somebody who live in this, who live on this island too. So locally, it was a big thing. Now that they've got, I mean, we have a new prime minister who promised to make sure that if Richie Sunak and his guys have found ways to beat the court in the UK, going ahead with their program and see if that could win them elections, right? Now, he didn't win them one. They lost woefully. But you see, UK is a very funny place when it comes to their politics, so unique. And it's always somehow like beautiful too. You see this man, the current prime minister, he has 5 years to be prime minister. But do you know something? We feel they move on before December. And another person will be prime minister again. Another person will be prime minister again. Until they are tired, they would have to call for a general election. Like Richie Sunak, let the people decide. Kind of. So the guy came on today and said, well, the whole program is now cancelled. It's not going to happen. I don't know what he's replacing it with, though. But here.
Look, the Rwanda scheme was dead and buried before it started. It's never been a deterrent. Look at the numbers that have come over in the first 6 and a bit months of this year. They're record numbers. That is the problem that we are inheriting. It has never acted as a deterrent, almost the opposite, because everybody has worked out, particularly the gangs that run this, that the chance of ever going to Rwanda was so slim, less than 1%, that it was never a deterrent. The chances were of not going and not being processed and staying here, therefore, in paid-for accommodation for a very, very long time. It's had the complete opposite effect. And I'm not prepared to continue with gimmicks that don't act as a deterrent. Look, the Rwanda...
Yeah, that. I'm not prepared to continue with that. Some of these refugees are put in very fancy, beautiful hotels. Although, right, I don't want to sound privileged, okay? Because a lot of people are coming from some really, really damned places to the point that they have ended up on this island. They are expected to be supported and cared for. But it's just unfortunate that the Conservative Party didn't really have any real plan. But they were draining the pulse of the public so much, right? That a refugee, put in an hotel right there at the center of London. Some of these top hotels actually cost the city, the government, and some of this available data, right? Fortune. And when people lay their hands on these statistics, right, they become more madder. Politicians are more pressured. What are you doing about it? How dare you? I couldn't even pay my electricity bill. You were spending so billions of pounds on this, like that, Here in Scotland, right? At the back of my house, here in Scotland, just about 5 minutes to the back of my house, there is this dock. It's like a ship dockyard. Okay. So we have all these vessels, all these big fancy ships and all that there. In one of them, there's one big, massive vessel. That vessel has currently have over 4,000 Ukrainian refugees who have been housed on that vessel for over 2 years now, or thereabouts. No joke. And when we lay our hands on all this information, then you realize that the reason why you have to wait for so hours, or maybe the ambulance will never come, was because NHS is not funded. These are local things, right? So the guy just said, I'm cutting it off. I don't know what he meant by that. We're going to wait and see. But it be like say Kagame received the message. Somebody was asking him that saw him today. Mr. Kagame, what are you going to do now that the UK is not going to continue with their refugee program or relocation or resettlement program? He said, well, that's the UK problem. It's not my problem. Yeah, right. You're very right. But what happened to the millions of pounds sterling they've given to you? And he categorically said, yeah, we'll give it back. If you don't want to bring them here anymore, we'll give you your money back. I hope he meant it, though. Here.
Sorry, excuse me, sorry guys.
BBC, President Kagame, is the UK deal working?
Ask UK.
The Supreme Court said that your country's not safe. Is it safe for refugees?
Ask UK. It is UK's problem, not Rwanda's problem.
But you're getting hundreds of millions of UK taxpayers' money with not a single refugee.
It is going to be used on those people who will come. If they don't come, we can return the money.
There might be no... Okay.
If they come, we use the money. If they don't come, we return the money. There's no pressure. Please don't come here and kind of think you can argue me. That's so straightforward, right? Well, talking about UK and this issue of relocation or no relocation, since everything is about location. In Nigeria, I used to be one of them. Oh, no lie. I used to be one of those who dreamt of what it was going to be like to leave Nigeria. Like, I want to go somewhere. I want to go far away. I can never keep it together here. I'm gonna become a Shekau. If I don't leave this place, I'm going to become a Shekau. I used to be one of them. Now I live here. I've been here for over 12 years. And I've seen a lot, no joke. But there are people who have lived in this country far more longer than myself. Only 12 years. There are people who have been here for 30 years, 40 years, 20 years. But there's something I discovered, okay, that it is not about where you move to anywhere in the world. They do tell us that we should travel. Travel is a very good thing. Oh. Travel is a very, very good means of educating yourself. You're going to get improved, exposed. But since I have been living in this country for 12 years, if I say something to you, sometimes you should believe it. Because I'm saying them from experience. I have seen people who have been in this country longer than myself. And I swear to God, if you meet them one-on-one and they open their mouth and say something, you're going to be so disappointed and feel like, yes, sir, have you been living in this UK? How long have you been in this country, sir? Oh, no. They take you out of Nigeria, but they don't take Nigeria out of you. For example, if you have lived your life in a place like the mega slum, the mega shitty, called the Lagos mega shitty, for example, we have seen people who left the shithole and they still didn't. See, let me tell you something. There are people who have become so successful. They have, advanced in their education. They have advanced in their careers. These are exceptional people. Still very much like their attitude of, people who are from that ghetto. It's obvious, like it doesn't matter how long you've been away, it's still pretty much like once once you are from that contraption and you are unable to reform yourself. There are people who have been unable to reform themselves. I don't know if you have seen this